Do you know what fear feels like when it becomes a routine? The narrator's voice echoes as the camera zooms in. For some people, it's a one-time thing. But for two schoolgirls, it happened every single day. And what happened next is something they never expected. If you're watching this, make sure to like this video and subscribe, because this story, this moment, might change how you see courage forever. Every afternoon, as the sun dipped behind the old school building, two sisters, Amina, 14, and Noor, 12, walked home together, clutching their school bags tightly against their chests. They lived only a 20-minute walk from school, but lately, that walk had become the longest, scariest part of their lives. It began with laughter, cruel laughter. It always did. Three older boys from the neighborhood, led by a troublemaker named Rafiq, started trailing behind them, shouting insults, mocking their clothes, and throwing small stones. At first, it was occasional. But soon, it became every single day. Amina tried to be brave for her younger sister, forcing a smile, whispering, "Just ignore them, Noor. They'll get tired eventually." But deep down, she didn't believe her own words. Noor, on the other hand, would hold her sister's hand tightly, her fingers shaking as she tried not to cry. What hurt them wasn't just the bullying, it was the helplessness. They didn't want their parents to worry, and they feared that reporting it would only make it worse. So every day, they walked, trembling, hoping for a miracle. One Friday afternoon, things got worse. The boys cornered them near an abandoned tool shop, blocking their path. Rafiq pushed Amina's bag off her shoulder onto the dirt. Noor screamed when one of the boys threatened to snatch her notebook. Amina stood in front of her sister, shaking, trying to stop them. The boys laughed. "What will you do? Cry? Go ahead." One of them stepped forward, raising his hand as if to scare them even more. That was the moment Noor broke down, tears streaming down her cheeks, but something else happened too, something none of them expected. From the distance, the low thunder of motorcycle engines rolled through the narrow street. Not one. Not two. But several. The boys froze and turned. Down the road came a group of bikers, thick leather jackets, gloves, and helmets gleaming under the sun. They weren't a gang. They were the Unity Riders, a local biker group known for community service, charity work, and protecting kids on their way home. Their leader, a tall, broad-shouldered man named Karim, noticed the scene immediately. He parked his motorcycle with a sharp stop, removed his helmet slowly, and looked at the boys with an expression that made their confidence melt instantly. "Is there a problem here?" he asked in a calm, deep voice. The boys stepped back. No, we were just," but Karim raised a hand. "I saw everything. And we don't tolerate anyone messing with kids in our neighborhood." The other bikers spread out behind him, silent but powerful. The three bullies stiffened, their bravado disappearing. For the first time, they looked small, not because of the size difference, but because they knew that what they had been doing was wrong. Very wrong. Karim crouched down to Noor's level, gently wiping her tears with his gloved thumb. "You're safe now," he said softly, then he stood up again and faced the boys. "You scared two little girls. How does that make you feel?" The boys remained silent. "You want to be seen as strong? Real strength isn't about hurting others. It's about protecting them." The boys lowered their heads in shame. Karim's gaze softened. He wasn't angry, he was disappointed. And somehow, that made the boys feel worse. One of the younger bikers stepped in. "You three will walk these girls home. Every day. And we will make sure you do." The boys nodded nervously. From that day onward, the bullies' attitudes changed. At first, they did the walk reluctantly, hands shoved in their pockets, avoiding eye contact. But day by day, something unexpected unfolded. They started noticing things: how Noor always hummed when she felt nervous, how Amina clutched her books as if they were armor, how the sisters would talk about their dreams in small whispers, and slowly, the boys started to soften. One day, when Nor accidentally dropped her pencil case, one of the boys picked it up and handed it back gently, saying, "Sorry." It wasn't much, but to the girls, it meant everything. Another day, Rafik muttered, "We shouldn't have done all that. You two didn't deserve it." Amina nodded, forgiving him silently before she even realized it. Meanwhile, the Unity riders kept watch from afar, ensuring everything stayed peaceful. Kareem eventually approached the boys again a few weeks later. "You turned things around. That's what matters," he said. "Don't stop now." A bond began to form, not friendship exactly, but respect. The boys who once terrorized the sisters now shielded them, walking a little ahead to ensure no one else bothered them. The journey home was no longer filled with fear. It became safe. It became normal. One sunny afternoon, Nor tugged on Amina's sleeve and whispered, "Do you think people can really change?" Amina smiled, watching the boys walking ahead with relaxed shoulders instead of slouched aggression. "Yes," she said. "As long as someone shows them the right way." The biggest change came when Rafik approached Kareem one evening after seeing the bikers waiting near the corner. "Sir, can I join your next charity ride?" Kareem's eyes warmed. "Only if you promise one thing," he replied. "Use whatever strength you have to lift others, not to push them down." Rafik nodded firmly, and he kept his promise. Months later, the same boys who once bullied Amina and Nor were now helping the Unity riders deliver food packages, assist in community events, and mentor younger children at school. Amina and Nor would wave whenever they passed by, grateful that their story didn't end in fear, but in transformation, because sometimes heroes don't wear capes. Sometimes they wear helmets and ride motorcycles. And sometimes, the people who once hurt you become the people who protect you. Life is strange like that, but beautiful too.